tweak a setting. Nope, nothing to tweak. Sorry about that. I'm just gonna be really soft, and y'all are gonna have to deal with it. So, hey folks, SD here. Welcome to the very first episode of the Nobody Cast, and today's theme is better late than never. Because seriously, I meant to do this like 4 hours ago. Unfortunately, mitigating factors conspired against me, and I only just woke up like 20 minutes ago. But hey, rather than put it off, because this is, like I said, something I've really been wanting to do for ages. I even had like a little theme song in my head, which I'm not going to subject you guys to today, maybe next time. But it kept getting pushed off, kept getting pushed off. Finally, I just kind of, said, what the hell. For those of you wondering, when you logged in and you saw that the broadcaster indicated that the channel is intended for mature audiences, all that means is that I have a potty mouth and I tend to talk about grown-up stuff because I am, in fact, a grown-up. Another thing for those of you who are tuning in, if you're from RichScrib, hello, hi. If you're not from RichScrib, hello, hi. Just hello, hi in general. I will get into quasi. Oh my god, my dashboard kicked me out. Why'd you do that, you stupid dashboard? This is a totally unofficial, I'm not doing this in any official capacity whatsoever type dealio. There, maybe I should be able to see chat if anyone's actually showing up for chat. I don't know. Intended plan is to, hey, it's 4:03. Intended plan is to do this on Wednesdays, hopefully around noonish, Eastern time, 4:04. And I won't be counting down all afternoon like that, I swear. But do it around midday, Eastern time. Give people who are overseas a chance to listen to my beautiful voice, because for some reason you people like to do that. But yeah, I give you Europeans a chance to listen to me. I do, they said do, an official, quasi-official, mostly official, it's got the seal of officiality, stream for RichScrib, State of the Scrib. I do that Friday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern. This is just a little thing for me and for you guys, and, hey, maybe it'll have themes, maybe it won't. It's just something for me to have fun doing. Oh, maybe if I hit the start watching button. Okay, let's mute me. Oh, did you have to hear me for a second there? I'm sorry. Anyway, maybe I'll have official themes, maybe it won't. It's mostly just going to be for me to talk about stuff that's going on in my life, stuff I'm working on, talk to you guys, things that, just come to the top of my head. Maybe weekly, maybe not. I am aiming for Wednesdays around midday because I work a half day at my real life job, and I usually get off and I'm home around that time. If it comes down to it and this becomes a regular thing and you guys like it enough, I will start pre-recording episodes for days where I won't be able to do Wednesdays at noonish. Anyway, alright, so I'm going to start out with what the hell is up with the logo. Because, you're all probably, most of you who are tuning in now know who I am, or have a vague understanding of who I am. Kind of, maybe think they know who I am. I am SDR. I go by SDR on pretty much every form of social media out there. If I'm not on a form of social media out there under SDR, that just means that I didn't know that social media is out there yet, so by all means shoot me a note somewhere saying, hey, you missed this one, and I will go sign up for it. Some of them I'll be on under that username, but I won't actually be active because I am a lazy mofo and I don't care about it. So SDR, that's, SDR is just my initials. Probably about, God, it's almost 10 years ago now. I decided I needed something to work under when I did all my convention stuff, that if someone hollered it at me across a, large auditorium, I would respond to it. So SDR is just my real life initials. Nothing fancy there. I spelled it out phonetically because I am a doofus like that. Let's see, what else? Absolute Nobody. Okay, Absolute Nobody is a little more entertaining. Absolute Nobody started out as kind of an in-joke. For those of you unaware, I do a lot of conventions. I've been doing conventions forever. I am an ancient being. The ripe old age of almost 39 now. Hey, 3 times 13. Woo, 4 numbers. But I've been doing conventions for a long time. When I first started doing conventions, I just did them as a normal person. For about 3 or 4 years into my convention career, I started actually making friends with people who were in charge of things. So I started getting into the, big important people parties and big important people rooms, the fancy green rooms where all the guests hang out. AWA was really my scene. Anime Week in Atlanta, like I had a guest badge. I had my room comped, a whole 9 yards. I got into the green room all the time, had all my meals paid for. It was nice. But here's the thing. I wasn't anybody. I wasn't anybody special. I just knew the right people. I did a little thing called social engineering, where I would analyze who I needed to know, what I needed to do, how to be nice. I mean, I'm a nice person. This is making me sound really cold and calculated, but I just kind of understand the paths I needed to take to get to be friends with everybody. So I did that. I got into all the behind the scenes stuff. And suddenly I'm at these parties with all these bigwigs in like the anime industry, voice acting industry, movie industry, just having a grand old time. And of course, it would always be, oh, hey, get introduced, shake hands. What do you do? I don't do anything. Or, oh, hey, nice to meet you, when in fact I've met you for the last 3 conventions and you just don't remember me because I'm not anybody important. So, that was a fun experience. Then I started using my position to get my friends in. Now, I always aimed for friends that were fun, also great people, entertaining, but just not anyone that would normally get a chance to experience things like this. So generally, it wound up being me and about 5 or 6 of my closest friends at the con, hanging out at these big, massive, mostly industry parties in a corner near the bar, mixing things. Just mixing up the most random things and just having the time of our lives. And inevitably, we'd wind up attracting some pretty big names who just wanted to come over and hang out and see what we were doing, because, man, we were having fun, because we weren't anybody. We were nobodies. We were the absolute nobodies, just hanging out in the corner, not caring about anything that was going on. So I dubbed us the Absolute Nobodies, and I started making us badges, just laminated little badges that we could wear with our on our lanyard with our, con pass every year, and had a great time doing that. Eventually, of course, most people grow up. A lot of my friends stopped doing, oh god, the title, let me miss, the Nobody Cast, god, nobody wanted to tell me that title was weird. Okay, update. Sorry about that, those of you who showed up wanting cooking. My bad. Anyway, so, yeah, all my friends stopped going because they grew up, got lives, had kids, got wives, whatever. I kept doing cons. I continued doing cons. I started doing cons in a more official capacity, where I was doing panels, and I was doing talks, and I was sitting in on other people's panels and talks, and, all that fun stuff. So I decided to officially make Absolute Nobody my company name. That way, if, as I'm doing all this fun stuff, people want to join in with me and also do fun stuff too, they can all also be nobodies. My motto is SDR, as seen on Nothing You've Ever Watched, because lots and lots of things I put out, nobody ever watches them, but I have fun doing them, so, hey, whatever. Alright, so, that's where Absolute Nobody came from, that's where SDR came from, and let me just take a look here and see if anybody's pinging me for anything. Nope, I'm not entertaining, and I can't tell if people just start chatting or if my chat's doing that funky thing where it doesn't want to show me that anybody's saying stuff. because my chat sucks, and whatever. No, it says I have absolutely no viewers. Ha 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 ha. I am talking to myself again. Not unusual at all. Alright, so let me go into my real life. My life outside of fun, exciting conventions and all my stuff that I do on Rich Scrib. And anything that may make me sound any at all cool and someone you would want to hang out with. Although, you totally should hang out with me. I'm awesome. Oh, alright. For example, let's say today. Today's a little bit of a outlier in my week because it's a half day. I work a half day. But it starts out somewhere between 4:30 and 5:30 when my alarms start going off. I have multiple alarms. I am hearing impaired, so I have multiple alarms. So I'm a very heavy sleeper, so I have multiple alarms. They go off up until 5:30 when finally this nifty little device called the Pavlok 2 will zap me. Just, right in the arm with an electrical zap to wake me up. And usually I wake up with a "oh some bitch" type exclamation, and now I'm awake and ready to get out of bed. So I'll hop out of bed and start getting ready for my day. Usually I have to leave the house by about 6 a.m. Eastern in order to get to my job by 6:30. I work as a master control operator at a local TV news station. It sounds a whole lot fancier than... No, I'm kidding. It is. It's really, really cool, important, fun job. The hours just suck balls. So, I am trying to find a new job. Anyway. So, suck my toe. I'm sorry, guys. Like I said, I woke up. It hasn't even been barely 30 minutes now. My brain's still coming back online. So I go to my job, walk up, dodge all the huge satellite dishes out back that are transmitting our signals and pulling our signals from all sorts of other fun places, and I have to be at work by 6:59:51 to push this special little button that rolls our local news into our network news, because otherwise everyone in the world would know that no one was there to push that button, because we'll be sitting in black until someone else realizes I'm not there yet and needs to push the button. And I'm not a morning person, so I've got a couple flats of Monster Energy drink in my trunk. I'll grab one of those on my way in, chug it along the way, heat up some ramen, roll some news, just do really exciting, boring, cool, nobody stuff. If I'm not there, you're not watching us in this area of South Carolina. Yes, I am in South Carolina. I'm sorry to myself and everyone else. So then I just basically spend my day making sure we're on air, making sure if any breaking news happens that it gets on air, if any severe weather happens, it gets on air. While I'm doing all that, I'm putting in all of our pre-recorded programming, I'm putting in all of our commercial spots, I'm tuning in any live shots we might have, like, if someone's out somewhere and they call in and they say, hey, I'm up on this particular signal, and I'll go tune it in and pass it along to whoever needed that shot for whatever reason. At one point I was running cameras, but they've moved that to the actual news production department because, that makes more sense than making the master control operator who's trying to make sure the station stays on air do cameras too. Anyway, so it's a really boring job when nothing is happening. You just basically get paid to watch TV all day, and it sucks because I don't get to choose what I watch. I just watch whatever's on CBS. We are a CBS affiliate. When some stuff is happening, depending on what it is, it can be really exciting or it can be majorly boring. Several years back, we had a massive flood situation here in the Midlands, and I had been requested to be there overnight. We don't normally have someone sitting in overnight. We have a monitoring station in a different city that keeps an eye on all of our stuff. And so there I am. I'm there overnight. I'm there. Our chief meteorologist is there doing, checking on weather stuff. There's a couple of little baby reporters that are running around getting shots of rain and everything, because we knew there was going to be a lot of rain. We did not know what was going to happen. We just knew there was going to be a lot of rain. So we got, I'm doing severe thunderstorm warnings and everything else. And our general manager is in. And then the shit hits the fan, and it starts flooding, like, everywhere. There's floods going on everywhere, up to and including in our building. So they need to go on air now, ASAP. And the general manager runs into the production control room, and I am obviously in master control, and our chief meteorologist gets on set behind at the anchor desk, and we go on air, just the three of us, because everyone else is out. Either they're at home in their beds, about to start getting phone calls saying, get your asses in here, or they're out wading around in the water getting all these cool shots that we are now looking at. Of course, in the middle of this, our building is flooding. So I have to run downstairs, attempt to stop that flood water, start moving shit so that it's not getting underwater, because, equipment and stuff. Running back upstairs to make sure we're still on air. Calling people frantically saying, hey, get your asses in here. I can't do all this by myself. I am only so much of a super person. And, yeah, it was a really exciting day. I wound up barefoot running around in the control room, because my shoes got completely soaked, and it was just more comfortable doing, running the risk of stepping on a massive screw or something than it was squishing around in soggy shoes. I was there for 15 and a half hours before the general manager finally chased me off with a big stick saying go home and get some sleep. But, yeah, it was an exciting, long, exciting day. Almost as exciting and long, while also simultaneously being really, really boring as the day a tree out back. There's a private property right behind the station, and they weren't maintaining their tree line, and one of their trees went down, and it took out a power line as it went down into our parking lot. Wound up covering, I want to say 4 or 5 cars that were parked out back. Thank God not mine. I had parked in the front of the parking lot that day. But yeah, took out these cars, knocked down the power line. We lost a little bit of power, but not too much, because we do have a backup generator. We're a TV station, we have to stay on air. So we had a backup generator. That kicked in. Some not really necessary portions of the station lost their power, but hey, we didn't care. Like the sales department, they don't need power. Not in a real situation. This was during a newscast, the start of our 5 o'clock newscast, 5 p.m. So there I am. We had, the little power situation. Our chief engineer is calling people to come move the tree. Oh, hey, look, the tree caught fire. Yeah, the tree caught fire because of the downed power line. So now we got this big billowing smoke ball out in the back parking lot. We got our own, TV crew out there recording it, telling everyone, hey, this is what's going on. The fire department shows up to put the fire out, and they put the fire out. And so now there's just, this giant burnt tree on top of all these people's cars. Good show. Crisis averted, right? Well, after about 30-45 minutes, we're now getting into our 6 p.m. newscast. Critical systems start failing. Things start going offline. We're still without power because, the power line went down. But now we're losing internet. We're losing cable. We're losing satellite. We're just losing everything. What the hell is going on? Did another tree go down? No, it turns out that this tree, when they put it out, the surface fire. But I guess apparently standard procedure is not to soak the sumbitch. It's just to, put out the major flame so it doesn't spread anymore, and then you let the rest of it burn out. So it was burning out straight into the ground, where, coincidentally, all of our underground pass lines are. All the cables that take all of our stuff to everywhere it needs to go, and all the cables that bring things in, like our phone lines and our internet, and all that sort of fun stuff. So the fire just kind of spread its heat downwards and melted through all of it like it was nothing. Just, reduced it all to a bunch of slag, and there I am now, completely without any communication to the outside world, in the middle of all of our newscasts. Chief engineer's wigging out, everybody's wigging out. I'm trying to keep my cool because, you know, hey, you can't wig out and keep things on air at the same time. So, long story short, we started getting other outside technical engineers in, because the other fun thing is, thanks to regulations and whatnot, all these different lines that were under that tree, the tree had to be moved, things had to be put out for real. And then in order to repair things, we had to get their specific companies out to repair it. Because, like, you can't just call hey, come fix my underground cable company. You have to call AT&T, you have to call Time Warner, you have to call DirecTV, you have to call Dish Network. You have to call each and every one of them to send out their own technician to work on their own lines. So it wound up being, we didn't get most of our communications back till about 3 o'clock in the morning. So it was another long 12-hour shift for me. They were still working on things, so the chief engineer wasn't able to leave until like 6. But, yeah, so that was another exciting event. There's lots of little things, breaking news situations, things that have gone on in the outside real world where I have to make sure they go on air when a network wants to break in. But yeah, that's my day-to-day real-life job that I have to be at there in ODark100. The only upside to getting there at 6:30 is I get to leave by about 3:30, provided there's nothing going on. There is one other slight little catch. This is the reason why I have half days. There's only like 3 of us now. When I started working there were almost 6. I say almost 6 because, oh, excuse me, there was one part-time person who worked other positions who would come in like 2 or 3 days a week for master control stuff. But there were plenty of us. We had plenty of shifts covered. We did have someone there. No, we didn't have anyone there overnight while I was working there. A long time ago, we used to have someone there overnight, but yeah, we had plenty of people. If one person took off for vacation, you just kind of moved everyone else's shifts around, and everything was golden candy. But now, one person goes on vacation, and the 2 other people are working extra hours, extra days, long weeks with no days off, that sort of thing. In my case, I am salary. I don't get paid overtime, so I get what's called a comp day. Unfortunately, I cannot actually take a full comp day without other people getting overtime, so I can't just take, like, hey, I'm working, I have to work this weekend, so I'm going to take Monday and Tuesday off. No, that's not a thing. It's just, I'm working this weekend, so I'm working 7 days plus my additional normal Monday through Tuesday next week, so it's 12 days straight. In return, I take half-day Wednesdays, which are nice. I get to leave by about 10:30, but they also suck because I still have to get my ass out of bed early in the morning. Which brings me around to why I am running this so late, because like I said, I really wanted to do this around noonish, but for multiple reasons, I did not sleep much last night. I didn't actually fall asleep till about almost 4:30 a.m. And, when you gotta get back up by 5:30 a.m., that's not very conducive to, sleep patterns. So when I got home from work today, it was about 10:45, and I decided, hey, I'm going to take a quick 1-hour nap, hop up, do this thing at noon, and then go back to sleep. And I set all my alarms and everything for that. I did not set my Sappy alarm, which is why the next thing happened, which was at about 11:30, 11:45, when I had set the normal alarms, my brain just said, haha, fuck that, and went back to sleep. So I wound up sleeping until about 3:30 when my brain woke me up because it was in a panic mode. It's like, no, hey, it's daylight, what are you doing? You're supposed to be doing stuff. And I woke up and got out and did stuff. So, sorry, got a little distracted by some Discord messages. Ooh, pizza. I'm hungry. Have I eaten? I ate some ramen earlier this morning, and other than that, I haven't really stuffed my face with anything. I need to go make something to eat, which Alas, I cannot. Oh, I have a cupcake. You're gonna hear rattling in a hot second. But family situation. For those of you unaware, probably a lot of you. I don't think anyone's actually watching at the moment. But if you are, hey, welcome for tuning in to the Nobody Cast, the podcast where there is no topic and nothing matters. But anyway. Yes, my family situation. I live in a massive, sprawling house with up to, and sometimes exceeding, a dozen people. It's myself, my parents, my grandmother, my uncle, my sister and her boyfriend, my other sister and her girlfriend, um, my the sister with the boyfriends, two kids from Thursday through Sunday. They come over. She's got, shared custody. And occasionally my brother and his girlfriend will be staying over. So for those of you counting, it's anywhere between 9 to 13 people at any given time in this house. That's a whole lot of people. We enjoy eating food. And we enjoy each other's company for the most part. Hey, yo! I see someone in the chat. Yay! Thank you for my chat being working. I need to put time codes on that so when I get distracted and I don't see the chat for a little while, I know when people actually chatted. So yeah, lots of people, lots of stuff. We'll be eating dinner probably in about an hour and a half, so I don't want to eat too much. But I do like to eat food. I talk about food a lot. People who know me know I do lots of stuff with food. The majority of my panels that I've done for conventions have been regarding food. Up to and including the Sweet Alchemy or a narrative on candy that I do for Steampunk Cons, which is the history of the industrialization of candy making and the science behind candy making. Keynote there is candy making, not chocolate. I don't do stuff about chocolate, even though I know a whole hell of a lot about the whole chocolate process. I've also done a cooking with alcohol panel that I like to call Eat Your Drink. I've sat in on some glassware for alcohol panels, and I've done a Japanese snack food panel, which I forget what I called it, but it was basically about making popular Japanese snack foods in the comfort of your own home. I spent a couple of months gathering up recipes, testing them out, and tweaking them to make them user-friendly for the average dabbler in the culinary arts, because I know that I am pretty well experienced and I can look at a recipe and go, oh hey, yeah, that's not right, and I need to tweak that there. But most people are going to look at a recipe and go, oh hey, yeah, I'm going to follow these instructions to the letter, and if it fucks up, it fucks up, and they don't understand why. But so that's like my thing. I'll have people asking for recipes, and I'll go find recipes, and I try to find things that can actually be used by the average person, and not just by me or my family, who do a hell of a lot of cooking because there's so many people in here. Let's see, what else? I do game streams on occasion. I want to do them more often than I actually do them. Biggest problem is just getting my silly little brain into gear to actually do a game stream. And then you also run into the problem where my attention gets very focused, and if I am playing a game, I'm playing the game, and maybe I'm chattering on about the game. I tend to forget about the chat, and sometimes I lose track of what I'm talking about because I am busy playing the game, and that gets really aggravating for people who are trying to listen to a story that I'm telling. But yeah, so I do game streams on occasion, mostly around my birthday, which is May 15th. I do what I call SD Day, which is a big, just random game stream session where I try to do an hour for every year that I am old, which winds up adding up to being, if you can do math, obviously I'm not doing it all on my birthday. This year I'm taking the 14th, the 15th, and the 16th off, and I will spread up the hours for my game streams. 14th, 15th, and 16th are Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, so it'll be Saturday through Wednesday, and I'll split up the hours for my 39 hours of gaming or random streaming to cover those 5 days. Don't know exactly what that schedule would be like. I've done game giveaways in the past, but of course nobody ever watches me, so nobody ever gets the games I give away. But yeah, I still have lots and lots and lots of key codes. So start tuning in for that, and maybe I'll start throwing key codes around like somebody who has money. What else? I don't know. I literally had nothing in mind to talk about for this podcast, the Nobody Cast. I just wanted to get on and get it out there and have somewhere where I could do my own inane rambling and not have to keep to a particular subject or be official and fancy and all that other stuff. I had been thinking about maybe doing some drawing, because I am a really, really shitty, terrible artist, but I do like to draw. I have a tablet for drawing, and I use that. And I could have, like, pulled up Pharopaca and been like, hey, watch my shitty drawing. I have something in mind for future podcasts where you could actually watch me on the fly crappily illustrate whatever story I'm telling. Because, man, do I have a lot of stories. When you get to be as old as I am, you wind up with a lot of stories. And my family's really entertaining. We've joked about how we could mount cameras all around the house and do a very entertaining reality show just spiraling around my family. There's always something going on. With this many people in the house, there's always some sort of drama. But, yeah, that was something I had toyed with the idea of doing today. Obviously, I said fuck it, and I just got up and started doing this. I almost decided to put it off again, but then I was like, no, god damn it, do this stupid podcast, get it out there, get it going. The first step is always the hardest one to take. And once you start, putting yourself out there, maybe, hey, you'll be able to do it more regularly. But yeah, that's it. That's all. I've talked almost nonstop for over 30 minutes now, and I haven't had my stream shut off, according to Twitch. So, hey, that's a good thing. My other podcast tends to get more viewers, but that's because it's an actual official podcast, and people want to hear things about that stuff. Although, allegedly, people like listening to me talk. I don't know. I don't get it. Do any of us really like listening to our own voice? There's got to be somebody out there who does. Let's see. Yeah, this was not a great time of day to do this because people are either in school or they are just starting to go to sleep because it is really late over in the European Kingdom. And over on the eastern side of the pod. Oh! I hear my own voice and hate my existence. Yeah, I definitely feel you there. I like entertaining people. Unfortunately, I have to do it as myself. Not entirely true. I found out this trick for those of you with social anxiety. Now, this trick isn't going to work for everyone. Your mileage may vary. It works for me. When I was in school, I took a lot of different drama classes. T&G drama, which is talented, gifted. You got to audition for that one to get into that special class. I took a lot of drama classes, so I do have some acting experience. And I developed this trick where when I had to give a presentation, or if I had to get up and, speak to a group of people, whether it was 10, 20, 200, I would just mentally separate myself from the situation and be like, okay, you are not you. You are this extremely popular go-getter who goes out there and gets it, if that makes any sense. So I would get up there and I would do my panel, and I'm not doing my panel as me. I'm doing this as a character of somebody who gives damn good panels. or my presentation when I was in college. You know, I gave my presentation as someone who gives damn good presentations, and everyone's there ready to be entertained by me and my presentation. That really, really helped, because then after it was over, I could go off in the corner and have my little, you know, panic attack or whatever. But in the moment, it wasn't me. It was somebody else. So while I'm sitting here talking to you, it's not so bad when, you know, I'm talking basically to my computer screen because nobody's here and I don't see anybody. Unlike when you're doing a panel and you've got, you know, standing room only crowd in front of you of 250 plus people, or even bigger. I've done some speaking engagements to bigger people, groups of people. My brain's not letting me think about that right now. It's much easier to do this than it is to do those sorts of things, but it's still like, you know, hey, I can be entertaining, I can be fun, this is what you want to see, and I'm going to give it to you. So that's just, you know, a helpful little trick there. So it helps me separate myself from the sound of my own voice a bit. Yeah. Oh, what else can I talk about? I say a lot. I need to stop saying I need to, like, have an jar, and every time I say I throw a nickel in the jar and immediately make myself broke or something. Yes, when I do my game streams for my birthday, they won't all be game streams. Some will be talking streams, some will be cooking streams. But when I do all of that, I'll probably be doing some fundraising too for some of my favorite charities. Right now, I'm really focused on AbleGamers, which is a charity that focuses on providing information to people who are disabled in various different ways, like hearing or mental, or yes, I would go broke in a minute. Thank you so much for that, Blue. At least it wouldn't be a nickel every time I did a typo. But AbleGamers, yeah, they focus on getting people the ability to game. So, like, for example, you're one-handed. It's really difficult to play a lot of current video games if you only have one appendage because of the way the buttons are set up, how many buttons you need to do, that sort of thing. AbleGamers works to find not only games that are already set up where you could, you know, they're accessible to disabled folks, but they also do games, or they have devices that help you if you only have one arm to be able to play any games. The devices where if you have no arms, you know, you work with your feet. Yes, it's me. You know, if you're deaf, if you're, they even work with stuff for people who are vision impaired, which I know that sounds really weird of playing video games when you can't see. But hey, everyone deserves the chance to get enjoyment out of video games, and AbleGamers focuses on making gaming accessible to everyone, regardless of your state. So I'm trying to do a lot of work with them, raising some money as a hearing impaired person myself, and some cognitive issues. I hold it very close to my heart. I'm one of those people that will crank down the difficulty setting to, like, just absolute baby easy if I get a chance, if that's an option. Not just because I want to be able to play through the game as quickly as possible, not spend, 2 hours attempting to beat one particular bad guy. I'm in it for the story and the puzzles. I'm not in it for the actual gameplay. Haha. However, if you have shitty gameplay, I'm not going to be happy about that. But, oh, yeah, so I crank it down for that. I also crank it down because I have hand-eye coordination issues. My hearing is not fantastic, so the types of games where you have to really listen to things that are going on, that's not great. I crank on captioning the moment I boot a game up too, if that's an option, and more games it is an option. It hasn't always been the case. But so I'm not just a supporter of AbleGamers, I am also kind of a user, and so that's my big charity right now. I used to stump for other charities. I used to actually do streams for some other charities. OSD TV for Operation Supply Drop. I did a bunch of streams for them when they needed to do 24-hour streams and they just needed a 2-hour block filled with some random nobody for a section of streaming that no one would watch ever, so I would do that. I make great bait in video games. I am very entertaining to listen to, although the fact that I am down to 2 viewers probably doesn't mean I'm quite as entertaining as I thought it would be. It probably helps to have an actual topic in mind. I promise, and I'm probably lying, that the next Nobody Cast will have some sort of format topic to go with. But yeah, so I'll do lots of streaming for my birthday. I'll do some game streams. There was a large support, like 24 people on RichScrib who wanted to see me go scream at myself while playing scary video games at midnight, which, once I find my decent webcam, I will do, because half the fun in those games are seeing the reaction of the streamers, and right now my built-in cam on my laptop sucks balls. I support you too. You can't see me making heart shape with my hand. But yeah, the built-in camera sucks balls, and all you see is my floating face when the room is dark. And hey, if you're gonna play a scary video game in the middle of the night, you need to do it in a dark room. If you don't have the balls to do it in a dark room, you may as well not be doing it at all. So yeah, as soon as I find my good webcam and get that hooked up, we moved. I used to be able to say we moved recently, but it's coming up like a handful of months. It'll be a year, but my room is still a disaster zone because we only just finally got everything into it from the old place. Oh, yeah. So my webcam's somewhere in here. Once I get that, I'll be able to start doing some serious game streams rather than just, piddling around, doing whatever. Well, I'm going to call this a rousing success, in that someone actually chatted in my chat room. Oh, hey, just really quick on this topic. I am toying with the slight idea of, for a fundraiser, doing a drunk cast game stream, where my drinking to a point is controlled by the number of donations that I'm getting from my charity. And that may or may not end well. The last time I did a drunk cast, it did not end well. And immediately the following day, when I was coherent enough to do so, I wiped all traces of it from the interwebs. So I don't know. I'm thinking about it. I do like my alcohol. Don't know if I want to share that with you guys just yet. You might not find it as entertaining as other people find it. But, yeah, I'll have some sort of topic in mind next week. I may have my theme song ready, or I may just sing it. I'm definitely not going to sing it now. It's too far into the podcast, and if I start to sing it now, it's going to be even worse than normal, because, man, can I not sing. You'll be experiencing that during random streams, because I like to break into song when it pops into my head. Say only do a drunk cast unless you have a co-host who can hold you back. Yeah, but actually, I do remember seeing lots of people saying, man, I would love to do a podcast or be on the podcast, and might actually be able to get non-official people onto the Nobody Cast, because I want to keep the other one as official and professional as possible, because that's the public-facing one. And this one is just, hey, this is me. I'll say what I want to say, do what I want to do, even though I am pretty much a nice person with not very questionable opinions on stuff, so I'm probably not I'm gonna say I'm probably not gonna piss anybody off, but the way the internet is nowadays, somebody's gonna get pissed off by something I say, and whatever. Yeah, that's pretty much it. see, if I'm gonna go now, I'm probably gonna go back to sleep and then get up for dinner in about an hour. And then now I'm hearing just the ringing silence in my headset. And I had a moment of, oh dear God, is my microphone down? And then I realized if my microphone was down, you wouldn't be able to hear me. And that would not have been a great thing. But, yeah, okay, I'm going, because I'm just rambling. And I need to go get something to drink, and I was not clever enough to get myself a drink before this started. Yeah, I'm just getting distracted by everything. So, until next time, this is SD signing out, saying, hey, be excellent to each other, and party on, dudes.